Hello guys, I have been working a bit more with the PortAtank. I was investigating various things and I might just casually try to see if I can work on the cell, replacing the software rendering with the cell rendering. And I have some empty placeholder. I have commented this out so that I can still see what's going on. This is the old software renderer. On the PC Visual Studio emulation thing. Now I've made it so that if I enable this right now, nothing is happening. Almost everything is empty. Now the text and the points the particles, the letters are still on the software renderer because all I did was nowhere poly. I said let's start if use 3DOS else do what I used to do. So I have this empty so that I can see how to replace, and also I think there is another one here too. Yeah. I goes here, which is empty. And but I also want to show you. Yesterday, before I was trying to emulate the PC speaker by having a sampler instrument that was square waveform. Now I changed it, and then later I was looking at the. Yeah, I was loosely trying to see how the tasks, the threads work, or there were some signals, but the signals are tied to the audio. There are some signal cues, and probably didn't work because you need to do something more. There are some more interesting things. There was some signal that happened every VBL, every refresh, but it was kind of complicated. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't make it work. And if I manage to run a thread and I put it in high priority, it would a lot of things wouldn't work, but also the wait signal didn't work, and it will make things very slow in high priority. And this is something to search in the future. But then I thought today, wait a minute. Uh, on my own beeper engine, I used to have some. I might not have it anymore. Now this is the new code though. I used to have I reduced the I used to have some, I don't know, freak, and that could be some table with some samples that I would fill. So I would still generate it, but I wasn't generating the sample. I was generating the frequency. Now the frequency would go through the PC speaker, and there would be a waveform. There would be, I guess, a square waveform with some frequency. Now if the frequency was higher, the pitch was higher, it would be more up and down more frequently. And all I was changing was the frequency. But then I thought one thing I could do would be to just record the PC speaker sound from DOSBox and try to save it in wave and convert it to AIFF and just have like here that you have this AIFF. Let's make the complete samples, not the square only, because you don't need to. If I want to play these sound effects, I don't need to make a complicated system right now that it has to update the knobs, the frequency knobs every time. There are no knobs anymore. I removed them. So what I did what I was doing before with the setup sound. I used this. I had a duration, and everything was multiplied by something and modulated by something, and I was creating changes in frequency that created the sound effect. Now these changes because you will change the up and downs of this square waveform somehow. I don't know the details, but I managed to alter it. I managed to actually generate samples, which was in the I wasn't expecting this to work because it's very ad hoc. I assumed that the square, I put some numbers till I get the, I assume that there is for every duration there is a square, but maybe in one duration I have to do both low and high. The next duration is low and high. And also, if I play higher frequency, I have to do many lows and highs. So I did something like that. I have a flip count. After how many iterations in the square size, this is like 630 samples. I put some number for some reason. That sounded very close. And if the frequency is very low, this is gonna be high. Now I have a value f, which I increase, and when it hits the flip count, suppose that the frequency is something high, and it hits the flip count in 10 iteration out of the 630. Then it has to go up. Then I reset f, and I say flip flop equals minus flip flop. Start with minus n, and I multiply with plus minus 128. And this is when I set up the sound. This is in the initialization. This is not when I play. I have the sample data which I allocate duration 10 ticks, 30 ticks. It's tick. It's every frame. Every frame out of 70 hertz, I guess, in the VGA. That's how I got the number somehow. I did some math and got this number. Maybe I didn't got this, but it was too slow. So I actually create a sample data uint 8, which I fill, and I procedurally generate the square waveform and the alteration of the up and down of the square. I'm doing it with some based on the frequency, some code. I still do the PC speaker, convert the PC speaker frequency to the actual frequency. I put some low value. If it was 0, it would initially I said if it's 0, make it 1, but then I realized if you delete that, rotate that with 37 with something very low, you're gonna get the highest pitch that is close to that. And because that used to be, I mean, it's uint 32, but later, yeah, later for the sample I have to shift right by 16. So this has to be inside the signed. I made it signed 16-bit, which I think is okay. And I found this create sample. I created the sample. When I play, I attach the sample. I have to get a sample attached, an item that is 0, because I realize that every time you play, if I play a different sound, I have to detach this previous sample. if I do a touch sample and select a different sound, this is not gonna change it. I'm gonna always hear the same sound for everything. And I looked at the Doom code again for that. And now my sample instrument is not it used to be square something. It's the var mono 8 that Doom uses. Sampler kinda works. I'm not sure I understand. I think it's var mono because I'm giving a variable frame. And that miraculously worked. And you know, there is no, I used to have an update sound here that I had to call very frequently. No, I have generated a sample and I just say once, play sound. Whenever an event happens in my game, I don't have to update manually. I don't have to make an interrupt. And it works like a charm. So that's the good news. Because I thought that I don't have to emulate. In this case, I don't have to emulate the PC speaker. Because I'm playing some pre-generated samples. Wait, yeah. So even if I go now, this is very slow, okay, but the sound plays the same. Let's see the ring. Maybe it's faster. I don't know. I might have to change a bit the frequency. Ah, so now I'm very slow, but the sound plays the same. Or if I'm very fast, I remove the. It's a bit loud. And that was the good news. That I like this whole exploration with sound. Because here at the very end here, you don't need to make a thread or a signal. It's gonna to bomb to change the knob frequency knob all the time. The frequency knob is not for that reason usually. The frequency knob is to have a full sample that you play, and when you change the node, the music node, to change to the frequency node so that you play the same sample at different nodes and create music. It is not now you could use it. It is not the best idea. Maybe if you really want to emulate the PC speaker, but now I don't want to emulate the PC speaker. I could have saved converted the stuff to AIFF, but the good thing is I am procedurally generate something that is very close. Maybe this square, I don't know how I calculated. I started by saying, okay, is my frequency that? The weird thing I don't understand. If I change that to 8,000, it sounds the same, and it's sent here to the sample tag. It doesn't change. But also, if I use not the var mono 8 but the sampler DSP, I need to set this one to some higher value. So maybe I still don't understand. And somehow I was saying, okay, suppose it is that. And now on the PC I was playing 70 times. 70 Hz was the refresh. Every frame I was updating the sound. So if I was doing some calculations, like if you divide this by 7, you get 315, and I multiplied it to for some reason 315 was much slower. So if you put this 315, but double the amount was very close. So oh no, actually it's faster. So if you put that, because I elongate the square, the sample. So there must be a correct relation. How and maybe this is the square size if the frequency was 1 hertz or something. This was the square size, and maybe if this is the length, I should not do that and then that. This should be half, half and half. So 630, 1. Okay, if this goes 315, according to my calculation, I have to double that. So maybe that's the relation. But what I don't understand is if I change this to something lower and I keep that, and I'm sending the sample args, maybe it doesn't work like this, I don't know. You will see that this one doesn't change the sounding. It doesn't change how it sounds, but didn't I say I want the sample that is a very low frequency? It plays exactly the same. It's like this value doesn't matter. However, based on this one, I calculated one. Oh, unless there is a conversion, okay. Unless if I put something very low, it's gonna make a very internally. It's gonna generate a very low very low precision thing that is gonna sound bad. Maybe that's it. It's irrelevant. I use the variable mono 8. So I still don't know if this is relevant, but theoretically I did the calculations with that. So I have 22 kilohertz per second, and I have 70 screen frames per second. So my window should. Oh, unless this is 11,025, the 70. Actually, it's the other way around. For some reason, this number is correct with that one, but I just don't understand if this ever does something with the samples. And maybe it depends on the DSP you're using. There is also the fixed mono. Fixed mono. Fixed mono 8, fixed mono sample. Maybe I should not bother with that, but because I have something that works, but I was still curious that I don't fully understand it. But at least I can generate samples, I can load samples, I can do some stuff. It's the same. Anyway, this is still good news though, because I don't need to update the frequency at all. I can just pre-generate the whole sample with the changes frequencies. And that frequency is the frequency of the waveform, of the square waveform. It's not the frequency of the sound note. It's a different thing. Cool, anyway. So maybe I'll try to focus We see how we will do that. So I'm gonna enable that. Now here's the thing. So now if I build it, maybe I run Phoenix. I can even run, let's run RetroArch. I don't know how the CPU emulation is in RetroArch compared to 4DO, because in no overclocking 4DO is slower than it should, than the real 3DO, but okay. So here I'm disabling the VSync. There are no letters, but because of the stars and these are still software, and I'm still copying the buffer, clearing the buffer and rendering on top. You get 38 frames, and here's the thing. Now there is no. Okay, I got it. Now I'm smaller. Now I'm the biggest. Now here's the thing. I don't render anything, but I'm doing a lot of calculation, and unfortunately I see that the frame rate without the software rendering of the polygons is still not reaching 50, 60. I was expecting it. So there is something, some CPU related code, and when I click to go, now I'm just looking the particles. Now I'm on the highest scale. Okay, this is slower than normal. Because if you run Phoenix, which is closer to the actual 3DO, the CPU is very close to what I would get on the real 3DO. It's a bit better. So now I'm at 53, 51, 50. Now those letters are gonna be rendered with cells, so you don't do the slow rendering. The stars I'm gonna render in other ways. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I guess I'm 53. Now in the highest scale I have 16 frames because there are so many tiles that I have to. There are 4 layers of 64 by 64 in this view. That's 16K loops trying to figure out left, right, up, down polygons, trying to figure out what am I supposed to render. But of course here I render nothing. Now if I added the software render, the frame rate would be 9 frames, 8 frames here. So from 8 we go to 15. Now I'm gonna go to the highest zoom level, the closest. Okay, I'm getting 60, 50, 60 here, but I'm not rendering. With the software rendering I was getting 20, 25, maybe 15 in some places. So maybe, but now I just omitted the rendering. But I was hoping now the 3DO, the CPU is still slow, and no matter how much optimization I have done, it would be good. I could investigate and do more optimization on the CPU side because I'm not rendering any polygons anymore. But there is a whole process till I decide what to render. And even though it's optimized, render tilemap 3D layer, update tilemap edges. This is cheap, I think. I can investigate everything. Now, I'm still doing divisions. However, this is one division per layer, so it's not one division per tile. It's not if you have 500 tiles on screen, 500 wise. It's just every layer gets. It's that division. That doesn't matter. 1, 2, and the step. Because the layer is in constant Z, so there are very few things happening. However, I'm feeling This is happens once per layer. I will have to do some profiling, of course. And I'm getting some initial information per layer. The biggest thing happens, I'm only render this one, but when you zoom out, I'm render this one, which is a bit lighter. I have an idea about that, which I can even do on the DOS port. When you zoom out, there are so many little squares. But since it's a map view really. You just want to see the map. I could pre-render a texture where every pixel is a tile, and I can scale it up, and that's it. I don't need to iterate through every tile. There are 64 by 64 tiles, 4096 by 4 layers. But the main thing is here. I have some complex information. So this is looping over. The cool thing is that I have created some information. So if my whole layer, imagine this is the whole map, but if the player view is here, I very cleverly find out that here you have these tiles. Suppose these are tiles. And I calculate, and also when you, the ones that are zoom out, because there are 4 layers, as you zoom out you have different, and in every different layer, further away, more far away layers have a bit more extra layers to the side. So I calculate this could be 0, 60, 63, but I might calculate, oh, this goes from 20 to 30, and also vertically it goes from 15 to 25. So I already do some really clever stuff. I iterate from y0 from y1 from the tile map grid info. And I think this, every layer has its own. Do I get that from tmap grid info? Am I just feeling that? Update all map edges. So I'm feeling this information that this is the edge. This is the edge. Somehow I find that stuff. With a certain zoom level, you only have to see a subset of layer. I find this information out with very few divisions. And the step is a divided step. So I did the division one and I just do additions and I fill information about his screen and Y screen. It must be coordinates. But then I have to go through, this is the main thing, where I go, I read the tile map 3D. And I might be saying, do I do that? I need to see if I do that. I'm definitely doing that. Yeah, but it has a lot of pointer to pointer because I have created a list of the polygons and this is like horizontally, left side, right side, vertically, up, down. And this is the cap, this is the top of the polygon. I do it in a separate layer and that has to do with, something has to do with the sorting of the polygons. It seems complicated and maybe for the 3DO I'm doing too much. But even on the 386, but at the same time it was something that try to be some optimization, because you can't just render all the polygons. You have to see the subset of the polygons, and I don't want to generate this in real time. These are pre-generated before. Here they are generated. Build tilemap mesh. So it's like I'm saying source plus one. If the tile next to me is 0, it means that my right side must have the 4 points. Else I put null so that I can skip it. And I will revisit this code, and maybe there are some optimization here, because here's the thing: even if I'm not rendering now, just traversing this and deciding what to render, even that is very costly on the CPU. And on the 3DO, you might think, oh, you're not rendering anything. Why are you not going 200 frames? Because if you now go at 50 frames there, it's gonna drop. You're gonna get 30. You're not gonna get 60. Maybe we get 25, 30 from the software render, that you get 15, 20 at best, or depends. We will see. Anyway, I was discussing the code and I wasn't doing the thing. I don't think I can do this today because I have to concentrate, and I like to discuss the things I've done. And I might need some thought in order to do it. I also resurrected the VGA palette because we might need to. I have commented that out. Now I generate that for the game, and then I'm creating a 16-bit, 15-bit representation. Because later when I draw polygons, I will use 16-bit polygons, but very small texture, so that I kinda map the VGA palette. And I'll just refer to that table. So now the only thing that remains, we do have to do that. I could work on the top polygons. Now the laziest way is to have some CCB and say draw cell, but we are gonna put them in some list probably. I just don't know. Yeah, I need to think about that. Fine, I'm gonna do some CCB. Should it be a pointer? Should it be a regular one? Tile rectangle. These are even rectangles. No, really, I don't know. That's the other thing. I could do some flash. And also the CCB is 60 bytes right now. Okay, I can afford to make some big for memory sake. Yeah, I need to think how I should do it. That's a big one. I can link them already, or I can just I can make it 0, I can make it, I don't know, I'm a bit stumbled. And I do have an idea though. Since we render layer per layer, I don't need to call draw cell. The rendering has to happen for a bit of occlusion. If I render a spaceship enemy later below, because I'm rendering from bottom, from far away layer, from the ground to the top. I don't want to put everything in a list and then say draw all, although that would work the same. I can change that layer. It's okay to call draw cells 2, 3, 4, 5 times for now. And that makes me think, actually let's put that because yeah, I'm here, okay. Uh, Now I won't be able to check that. Now this cannot be more than 4096 for a layer, normally. Okay, put that here, go here. So you can always reset it. This is rendering the layer. Oh, and we can add to those also. The things we will have to pass something to those. For now I want to only implement this so that we can see how it works. So this one can be reset every time. So this is reset. At the end of this, I can do, for example, a draw cells. I will only have to say the last one maybe it is the previous one though. Yeah, that's the thing. Generally speaking, it's harder to think. Oh, I have them here. CCP last. However, I will I think I know. I think it's the previous have to be because here I'm gonna do it. Maybe I can even pass it or maybe not. And then I will go to the next one. Actually, this is not what am I doing? Let me see now. I'm confused a bit. Yeah, this is linear. Which means I can go to the previous one. So it's not the thing I'm linking here is gonna be linear. It's not gonna be. And actually, hold it a bit. I'm gonna. Do we have any need or something? Tilemap 3D need. Now we also build the tilemap mesh. Things will change because we can have it attached to cells. We see. What is the thing I wanted to do? Yeah. Equals. So all I want to do from the beginning is link cell. See, there are two link cells. I have talked about that. So I want you to link mine to the next. Oh, this is below. Okay, let's put them high, obviously. I want to put them, okay, put them. Maybe not too high. I have so much stuff here. Okay. You don't do that anymore. This is on the... Not that it matters, dev project. Ah, yeah, but we haven't. It doesn't matter. It didn't. There wasn't any issue. This was from the PC, the assembly version. I can even remove this later. Where is the init? Okay, so I'll link them. Of course, that's my function, which I know there is a link cell and a link cell. It says cell helper cell cell utils is on the 3D, which we still use. Well, I tried to make my own function for some simple stuff. Do not have much dependency. However, this one was okay on the. I still have them. The SDK, the cell utils. But I use my own because it's so easy. Okay, next point, the next CCB, and I make the flags not CCB last. It was CCB last, I make it not. And what have I done here? I'm a bit lost here, but okay. Ah, it's below, damn it. Use that. Ah, yeah, CCB. Yeah, I'm making it again CCB last, but I need to do this one. Where is this going to? What are you doing? I don't know the precedence. Okay, just to make sure, make it like that. Go to the previous one. Or go to the previous one. And make that one the last one. Because I think every time I add one, I'll go to the next one. That's how it will work. Draw rectangle. So I'm gonna do something with that. And then I'm gonna go to the next one. Now, because I'm lazy, so what do I want to do? Also, this is the rectangle. Okay, so I don't even need to do a complete map cell for that. Man, many things have to happen. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if I will be able to do this. I need to be more focused for that one. I have to set up the whole cell, to be honest. And it's been such a long. I need to see how I do it in various places. Let's see how I do it here in my engine. Do I have CCB here? I really need to see. Prepare drums for cells. No. When I create the mesh, I need to remember how easy it was. Every polygon, I had an array of cells. Somewhere see, these are not easy things to do. First of all, I set myself flags. Am I creating the cell in each cell? So for the first time I create this cell list. Because I will not do this every time I draw. I have to do some of the things. Okay, so you initialize the cell, maybe the basic stuff, okay. And you set up, this is a palette, we are not going to have a palette. We are not even gonna have a bitmap. I'll tell you what we will do. There was a point I was doing flat shading. Text BBP. How was I doing flat shading? I just had the texture that was 2 by 2 or something. But I want to do something simpler for now. I see. I'm searching for. I need to do this. I could do the palletized. There is no 256 colors palette. Okay. I was searching for something else. Something that the Doom code was doing. And I've done it at some other place, but it's not ideal, but and then I can change it. Now we have to find that. Uh, Anywhere that has let me think. Draw a rect, for example. There was a technique, and that's the draw and rect. We can just take the code, however. This is exactly what we want. There is a trick where you can put in the. This is the palette, but this is not palletized. Oh my god, it's passing the preambles like that. You put the source pointer. I don't know if I will do it like this. Because for the other thing I have to create textures and I can create 256 textures. Okay, initially forget about colors. Forget about colors. See, I cannot concentrate like this. And now I lost the other one. Okay, go to Cell Utils, you have seen it. These things are very hard to do. Cell helpers. And try to create a cell. Try to create a cell. Oh, and this is this will allocate and return a point. We cannot. Oh shit. Ah. We already have an array of things. If you get me. Oh, I cannot go up now. So if this is awkward, you know what? I might even finish the video because I realize this is a bit awkward. I cannot do this in real time while streaming. I can do simple things, but this one needs thought. I might just casually, it doesn't matter. I might just casually do things. And whoever watches, watches. Because I realize I would need to have some pointer of CCBs to do it. But then they are not linear. You can still link one to the next, but I know. This is why I created the create cells with a number. Because this is gonna create, it's still gonna return, but it's gonna allocate the CCP with it's gonna allocate a linear thing. This is it. So that you don't do micro allocations. Create an array of pointers and for every pointer so wait, this is going to now of course the other thing would be to you can init a cell. I can pass a pointer. That's another option. If I have my own array, I can. This might be doing what maybe. I have set up cell data for later. I wanna try this one then. So it would be the same than saying tile top cell equals create cell. Make it 16 bpp. We'll see how to handle it. The type and the num is and this is gonna happen later anyways. Oh, what are you doing? Where is the init? Dude, put this one. It's very hard to move to places. Now I only have to see the type. Cell type. Now if I don't give it to allocate, it's not gonna allocate, and that's fine. Because I don't want it. I'm thinking I changed my mind. Yeah, that's. Let me think. Yeah, that's how it should work. I don't need to go 16-bit. Okay, cell type coded. Do not allocate PAL. I want you to make cell type coded 8-bit. Okay. And here's what we are gonna do. Here I created PAL VGA. Now there are 256 The 8-bit has 32. I could do it 4-bit, I could do it 2-bit, but it doesn't matter. Because it's so small. Actually, it has to be 4. Or maybe not, but let's make it like that. 4 by 8, 32. Oh, it has to be 8-bit. No, I think my create cells. Okay, I will handle that. I will handle that. That's okay. I could do it 4 by 1, 4 by 4. Maybe do it 4 by 4. Maybe do it 2 by 2. However, horizontally, this is not gonna be 2 bytes. It has to be 8 bytes. Let me think. I can point to the single common texture, and I will change the palette. The easiest thing will be this. So the good thing in game, I generate the VGA palette 256, but on 3DO the textures don't have 256. The highest palette is 32 color. However, I think I know what I can do, and even that's interesting. No, I know what I will do. I do know what I will do. Uh, that's the 2 by 2. So I'm going to have a flat which has to be 8 bytes because there is a minimum width in bytes. Words, whatever. What I'm going to do is that later, when I want to, I'm sending the color anyways for its. I will be able to say, okay, CCB. And then I will be able to say PAL VGA. That's a good idea. And if you give me the color from 0 to 250, it's gonna select it. However, this means that the palette starts from that. Oh, I need to see if there is gonna be an issue though. First of all, it's misaligned. Yeah. If you give me 1 or 123, it's gonna cross the barriers, and maybe that's bad for cell, for 3D, or for ARM. Eee. Or you know, I can do something anyway. I can do something. Oh my god, now I see it. I think of two things. Maybe one thing is more costly. When you send me the color, but I painted the flat texture. That's not what I want to do. Oh boy. Now here is the idea. The idea is that you have the color, and when I generate this texture, I'm gonna put it every pixel. Suppose I'm gonna put the value 0. But this is palletized. So 0, it's the palette index 0. So when I change where the palette shows, it's gonna capture this. Now I could do it the other way around. But the other way around is I have to go through all of this every time I send the polygon and change all of the pixels. Now I could do a one two by one, of course. That's the other thing. I change one pixel. Okay, that makes me think I have to do it like this. Because there's gonna be an alignment problem. I have to do it like this and that's it. But there is also Indianness. But it's not that there is. I'm gonna put it to the base. You know, if you want to be sure, let's be sure now. I'm doing hacky stuff, okay. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna set up the palette so horrible, horrible, horrible. I did extend it so that there is no issue with the misalignment. And I'm gonna say color shift left to not even do the multiplication, even though it's gonna be the same, but I like to be sure. And now it means that the base of the palette is pointing in an offset in some VGA value. Now I will prepare my flat text mem set with 0. Okay. Init. Pap, 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 pap. Where is it? Junk. Now there might be better strategies for that. I could create 256 CCBs, but that's not gonna work because you don't have 256, you have as many as your polygons. That's okay. So I'm selecting the color through the palette. We're gonna have to map it too, but uh, do I need? We're here? Okay. So let's go from the beginning. We are setting up all of them. So now this is an array, and I'm linking them. What have we created? That. I'm gonna set up. Let's see what that does. Palettes. Okay, so this is if you don't want to allocate, if you just want to set things. Because there was an alternative that if you initialize the cell, oh, and create cell is gonna initialize the cell. And on the original 3DO SDK, the create cells, I mean, you could tell it, you could guess a different size. It was a trap. You could say, create 1,000 cells because I have 1,000 polygons. And it would allocate a new palette for everyone, a new bitmap, and the memory would be full. And you wouldn't even know it. So I prefer to have my own thing where if I don't give cell type alloc power BNB. I can control it myself. Then it's not going to. Here it's gonna allocate size for your palette, and I could have a default. I saw that I can have a cell type default if someone wants to use it and they want to. They are lazy. Say, give me the cell and allocate everything. Because now the user is like, I need the cell. Where is the bitmap? I want to write in the bitmap. Yeah, you have to provide it. So I could have something that if you put default, I don't want to make it that the default is automatically allocating. I could do it the other way. I could make a cell type do not allocate, please. This is a dilemma. What should be the correct one? This is a dilemma of design, but it doesn't matter because I'm using it and I know. So now, now I got lost in the weeds here. So now I did this so that this is probably the base of this is word align, and I'm gonna make it twice so that it's because I don't know, maybe there is a problem with the cell renderer, maybe not. If it's a misaligned 16-bit read, I don't know. Now I got lost in the weeds again. Where is I'm lost here? So I did that. I'm tired with that. I'm gonna put that and say, okay, if I all in the link cell, so that I can also set up cell data. I'm gonna put that null because it doesn't matter. And here I'm going to have our bitmap, I guess. No, what are you doing? That's my goal. So this is okay. It's a static uint date. Okay, this is the bitmap. 8 bits width, regardless. Obviously, if I go and change that, I have to change that here too. But whatever. Uh, whatever. I know you might say this is not safe because someone will change it and it will. If it puts 8-4, it's fine, but if it puts something bigger, it's not gonna work. But this is my code again, and I know it. So this is already so everything will have the common thing. It's gonna be clear with color 0, index 0. So it's in the base of the palettes of whatever we send. I wanna see if there is something else. Cell type coded 8. It could be that. Now we do it in the beginning. We link them. Is there something else? Mostly that. Now you could do things like some other flags. We also have set up CCB. So this is the cell super clipping, the line super clipping. We can do things like that. BGND. Uh, the palette is not black. So LD plot. Now this is not, I'm gonna change that. This is not optimized because we are loading one palette every tile. But right now I want to make this work and I can optimize in the future. So okay, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just make the video and then continue it on my own. I mostly wanted to show you the other thing, the PC speaker thing, how it goes and so on. So all you need to do now, I want to make sure when you init the cell, when you create cell of cells, I init the cell. Cell BBP cell type, height width, and I'm calling this one, which kinda mimics. It puts some default. Here is the superclip. These are the default values that also the create cell from the libraries do. I set things to new. No, I set the export. Okay. I zero everything and the horizontal. So this is 1 to n. Yeah, this is like a sprite. So when we do a rectangle, we only have to do the HDX and the VDY. So we are sure that we don't have to touch anything else in our init. Yeah. The SDX and the VD, it's 20. Okay, I see. Oh, see, this is depending on the size. So the default scale is that. Let's start with this. But now we have pay 0, pay 1. This is in pixel. Now we have the. I don't want to move up there. Flat. Yeah. So if the thing goes 1 pixel, that would be the thing. We can even do that. Pop up, pop up, and multiply this by. And now we are gonna make some multiplication. I think that is a way. This is gonna be a constant anyway. And the value too. This can be a nice shift. And probably the 3DO is going to do it. Sorry, the 3DO, the compiler. Maybe it doesn't do it. Because this is gonna be. To shift 20, so. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice number, like. Yeah, all of this will be power of 2. Or 20, how much is 20? Is that 20? 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah. So. Yeah. So probably this is gonna be a shift. It doesn't matter, let's do it. Don't think now about. Because all of this will be costly. But you have to do. You are getting now the screen point. However, here's the interesting thing, and actually, this is why this is gonna fail. Now we used to look at this, man. Look at this. Oh my God. My screen points on the DOS code. I actually did some pixel accurate polygons. So I have to shift it down by the screen bits. It's 8-bit. So this was gonna be enormous. So technically I would have to do something like that. I think. Ugh, what the hell? I'm not sure. Also, I made a mistake. There is an inverse connection. So this is gonna scale 1 pixel. Okay. So if you want to scale to map two texels on the same width, you have to divide, not multiply. You have to divide the result. Isn't it so? Am I miscalculating it? If you want to map, because the scalar, I have forgotten. I can also put it here maybe. Now technically, because I know this is dividing by 2, I could shift it, I could do a -1, but you might say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do that better later. Let's see if it works, because I think I messed it up. You have to remember that a scale of, if this is that, it means that the size is pixel perfect, that the zoom is 1. That means that one texel of the bitmap is 1 pixel. But now we want to map a text that is higher than 1. What's my problem though? Why don't I start with 1? I still do that 8 by anyway. Was there any reason? And I'm gonna change it later. Now there is another thing, that the cell was working in parallel, and with for flat shaded, if you make it 2 by 2, 4 by 2, 4 by 4, and so on, you might get it better, better performance. But now the polygons are so small. Okay, it builds. Let's see. It's gonna crash. It crashed. Of course. Color 60. Why did you crash? SCB Plut. Of course, we are not drawing. We are. So when we start the layering, we are setting it to the first one. Oh, I know. Dude, this is the one. Yeah, tile tip cell. What are you talking about? This is the ones we prepared, okay? Yeah, that's correct. I thought I was wrong. I thought I was creating it with the current. Now the current is the one that we. No, that's correct. That's correct. You said that the top. Top is misleading. It doesn't mean the top of an array. The funny thing is that we got absolutely nothing. Oh my god, first of all, I want to see something drawn. My cell emulation could be doing a mistake and see, oh, the color 0, I must draw nothing. So it's better, even if I set it to not draw 0. It's better just to make sure. Where is it? Make the texture, make it 1. Let me think. Man, it's incomplete to check it here. Who knows if nothing is being rendered? Ah, I know why it. I think I know. I think I know. I want to see something rendered. But probably I messed this up. Maybe the dimensions are wrong here. So if these are higher, obviously I'm messing this up. First of all, let's address the crash. Uh, this is not safe. This thing is not. Obviously, I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm gonna correct it later. Ah, now it's even worse. Why? Also, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Okay. This is not the right way to do it. This is not the right way to do it. Let me think how I should do it. Why I'm failing such bad? First of all, just let it draw. Oh boy, this is so bad. I'm going to do something else now. It is better index. And that's it. CZB cell equals. It is better. It's more safe. But does it hit 65k? Better use an index. Set it to 0 every time. You can say if there might be the case where no polygons. Oh, there is another one. There's another one. There's another one. Yeah. You know, first of all, when we connected, remember, we destroyed the CCP last. This thing, if it's gonna run, you have to revert it. After the draw cell, you know, for the next round. Else, you're gonna make gaps where you have some early. Draw the cell, you mark it so that it stops there. Now this is the base, of course. Okay, so oh, I noticed something. Oops, 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 something happened. So we don't, why is this happening? We don't reset it? We do reset the thing. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I lost my thing. No, generally speaking, you have to tell me when you finish. STD code, printf, whatever. I can't write. Tell me what is this value every time. This is on every layer. Okay, I see. There are layers that are 0, sure. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now I'm moving. Wait, stop, stop, stop. Okay, why is it oops suddenly? I can think of one reason. I can think of one reason. Now this is 0 and goes positive. It's an int, it's not an unsigned int that wraps around, sure. How can that be? See, the numbers are low. If I don't zoom out, is it eventually going to happen? Okay, maybe I have to zoom out. I mean, it's 65536. Why? Why the hell suddenly? Let alone nothing is drawn. The fact that nothing is drawn is already suspicious. Every time you draw, it goes to the next. This is where the layer starts. Now there might be layers that have no polygon at some view. But if it has no, it's not gonna do. And why not? Why not give me the layer and see if it happens in one layer? Oh, dude. We have this here. We have this here. There is a reason. This is for the top-down map. Now why I duplicate? Maybe there was a reason I duplicated. Because I did things here in a more simple way. There was a reason. So for now, okay, that's the mystery. And that's why we don't see it there. And please, I want to do that here too. And we will have to send la layer. If I haven't done that, I wouldn't have seen. I have this thing where when I zoom out, I draw only the top, the quads that are on top. I don't draw the sides. Else it goes way slower. Because it's such a tiny top-down view, you don't need to. That's also on the 386. That's. And you see layer 0, it has 15 tiles. The others. Ah, fuck. If you move this, is gonna change now. And see how many tiles it has. Now zoom in. Unless I go to some places that now I zoom out. There are about few hundred layers, 200 quotes per layer. Because we are watching everything. Okay, so now there must have been a reason. There must have been a reason because the draw rectangle was more simplified. This final layer, or I draw this layer. I might be doing something different, I don't know. Or it could be the same. I could easily call this for the sides and then call this for the top and not have to duplicate. But maybe there was a decision I have to do for a reason. Now we don't get anything. And I'm losing it again. Now, of course, that means that 4096 could be enough. Okay, we can figure it out. First of all, what if we put some silly values? Also, this is the good thing. Oh my god, it's very slow. It is trying to draw very huge polygons. Probably our bitmap thing didn't work. Oh, I might know. It's gonna be funny. Make and set pal. Set up palette 3D. Ah, okay, we set it up. Uh, uh, we are going to figure it out. Okay, the simplest thing we can do to see if something is being drawn and the palette happens to be 0. Oh. There are two things. We used to do software rendering. At the end of the frame, maybe we are deleting it. Of course, I'm going to replace all the stars, the particles, I'm going to replace with different things. The old thing still happened. There are various reasons why, why he does, and some of them are so stupid. Where is CCB? So I'm running the thing. I'm drawing the cells, and then I'm drawing on top the screen cell that is now black, and I made it. Oh my god! That's the remnant, okay? I'm gonna remove it. I could be drawing polygons, and on top of them, I could be drawing a big black rectangle that erased everything. Because of the previous count. No, now you are not gonna. There is no stars, nothing. Because we were drawing there. There. Okay, I see something. I see the tile, but all the tiles are there. Let me do it in another way then. If it's the black, make it false. Maybe it will draw on top. So we get the star. Yes. See. What was happening that the software render screen I was drawing it after. Now if I draw it before, the UIs are gonna fail. Now again, I will replace all of this. The UI elements should be hardware render with a cell. I will replace them later. Now we finally have something. However, we did this and we get one tile on the side. Why? Oh, dude, you gotta position it. You gotta position it. And I can even do the magic because we're gonna keep. This is the cool thing. These are sub-pixel accurate. This position, like here, which I'm not using, this is software render. So if your pixel is 50, it's not 50. It's 56 by 8. It's 50 by 256. And internally I do the math sub-pixel, especially with the rotating polygons in another place. Here is just projected polygons. So let me think. The positioning doesn't need to. It's irrelevant for the texture. P0, P0, yeah. Oh, where is the other? Where are the other? I only see the first layer. I only see layer 0. So we are going somewhere, but we only see layer 0. Why are we only see? Oh, I know. I don't know. Why only layer 0? We're rendering back to front. Why are we seeing only layer 0? We are doing this. We are drawing the cells. We're setting that to 0 for the next round. Curious. That's curious. Damn, this is annoying. It could be again some stupid thing. Okay, let me do something. Draw me only layer 1. I don't care. Oh, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it. By the way, this is in the quotes. Okay, and it does not render layer 1. Why does it not render layer 1? Call star. Okay, you have this call star, of course, but again, I don't think that's the case. Okay, you know what? Make it set color 15. No matter. No matter. Okay. It is the color. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I think I know. This is a green date color. What does it matter? I don't think cast it to end or something. I don't think it's that. But there seems to be something like that. Okay, let's do something else. Give me 15. And now I get... Okay, it should be simple. And put a break one, whatever. Oh my god. Okay, now layer is 1. What layer is 2? What is my color? Color is 28. 56. Oh, of course. No, 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 no. Ah, wow, wow. Wait, 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 wait. Now, certainly the VGA palette, it goes. Ah, because the cell palette is 32, but the color is 0. This is the offset to the palette. Okay, and I think that's what's happening. I mean, you can do it like this, it's okay. Okay, are we not setting up the PAL VGA correctly? What's going on? How many are the num calls? Calling me. Oh, I know, I know, I know. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. What are you doing? 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 The num call is colon minus call star. So if we set up 16 calls 32, we were setting the few. Okay, I think that's it. I think yes. Finally. Uh, oh, but it's bouncing in. It still fails. That's okay. Why is it failing? It doesn't render everything. Also, the colors are wrong. We might still. Oh my god, we might still have. Oh my god. Oh, I know, I know, I know, I know! Stupid. It's the hack! Again, guys, this is experimental. It still didn't do the higher colors or something. I think that's the reason. Now, okay. Finally. And these colors are they the correct colors? Maybe. They look brighter. There is so much work to be done. I might change the way I do it, but oh my god. I'm gonna work on this on my own, and I might even change the way I do things. This might not be the. This might not be. Now I want to see. Ugh, I want to see how horrible it is in speed, because is it improved? Is it working? First of all, I'm I'm disabling the VSync. 16 frames. 16 frames is better. Okay, it's definitely promising. I'm getting 50, 41. I was getting 20 or something. So at least even that early implementation is not. And these are only the top polygons. Or even like that. Is it now? There are more. See, there are more tiles. There are just too many, and we only render the top. But we're getting 30 frames or something. And you couldn't get. You get 15 frames with the software rendering. In this top you would get. By the way, this is identical to the colors are different. I might see if I'm mapping the colors correctly. This is the way the map was, and now it gets okay. It went 12 frames. Unless I didn't. Okay, this thing is on. For this one, because it's a top-down map, I think I will. Here, you have too many cells for this one. You might have 400 by 4. You might have 2,000 cells or 1,000 and a half microcells, and okay, it is promising. We're not gonna get 60 frames easily, but we might get better than the software renderer. But I need to do the sides now. Now, if you do the sides, you have 4 times more. But when you zoom here, you have fewer sides. And again, I'll look at improvements in performance, even on the CPU side. We have only 1/4 of the polygons. Oh my god. And I think I'm gonna work this on my own. Maybe I will not make any episodes soon until I have something already. And I guess it's time to close, guys. See you later when I prefer to work this on my own now. So see you later when I have something promising and finished. Bye.